Hey everybody, this is War Boss Fitz, and I promise this week I will not get too excited so I don't blow out the microphone. This week we're going back to Age of Fantasy to check out the Ogres. And for the Ogres, our 3D focus of the week is going to be on Ghamak. Ghamak has a huge line of different models available in a whole bunch of different styles. All the models that pop up in this video are going to be their Persian Ogre line. So let's go ahead and start checking out the Ogres version 3.3.1. So looking at the special rules, we're going to touch on a few of the key ones. Starting off with the first rule of Bully. Bully is just renamed Undead. Whenever the unit fails a morale test, roll a dice for each wound that's left in the unit, and on a 1 to 3, the unit takes another wound, giving you the option of morale mitigation in the army. We're going to go ahead and go down to counterattack, strikes first when charged. You're going to see this on your pet goblins, which makes them a pretty impressive unit for their point cost. And the last one we'll touch on is Stone Bones. Your unit is going to reduce the AP of the enemy's attacks by 1. This can lead to some very, very tanky units. As you can see, there are more, but we'll go over them as we run into them. For our spells, we normally don't talk about the offensive spells. You can just read what they do right in the description. Let's look at the buffs and debuffs. Gorge, target friendly unit within 12 gets +1 attack next time it charges. In a normal Age of Fantasy army, that would be an amazing spell. But in the Ogre Army, your units are not going to be that big, mostly coming in 3s and 6s. It's still a good spell, but not as effective as it would be if it was in like a Chivalrous Kingdoms or a Retmen army. Crack for 2 points. Target 2 enemy units with an 18 to get -1 to hit rolls next time they shoot. That's an okay debuff. Most enemy armies' shooters are going to be hitting on a 5, so pushing that up to 6, it reduces their hit chance by 50%. And then Guts for 3 points. This one makes you really fast. Target 2 friendly units within 12 to get +3 or +6 inches of movement whenever they charge. Throw a caster in there, put this on some of your Ogre armies. That's a whole lot of beef moving downfield with a quickness. Now we're into the actual units of the army. So I'm going to change things up from how I usually do. I know everyone normally hates this, but hear me out. What I'm going to do is pull the units up. We're going to talk about the units, what their role is in the army, and then some different options you can give them to increase effectiveness. If it's a unit that you could build multiple ways, we'll go over that. This way you're not going to hear me say like dual heavy hand weapon 16 times in the same video. So we're going to start with the Tribe Master. This is going to be your larger hero unit, or your hero unit that's the better quality, and he kind of synergizes with your leader units. So quality 3, defense 4. We're going to go right to the upgrades. We got Fire Eater. Now all this does is it just gives you a one-time blast weapon. It's only 5 points, but if you take that, you lose out on all the other stuff. Next one, 25 points. This is where you can get the Bully skill, where you make your Ogre unit that this one is attached to into Undead for morale mitigation. Then we have the Army Standard Bearer to give the unit Fear 3. In most other armies, this is a good upgrade because you never know if the hero and his unit is going to either win a combat or be close to winning a combat or just lose it by 1. But in the Ogre army, especially a unit that a Tribe Master is going to be attached to, it's going to be a sledgehammer. You're going to win that combat. So just adding 3 wounds onto the end of it to see if the hero and his unit win, you're going to win it already. We have the option to give this model and his unit regeneration. And this is an excellent choice if you got a big group of Ogres, especially a big group of some of your elite Ogres, attaching a Tribe Master with this just to make sure that they stick around. And then the last option is Trample, where this model and the unit get +1 impact. While it is a fun rule, I don't see it being worth 65 points. And to be quite honest, the number one choice here for me is going to be the Healing Aura, giving your unit regeneration. Then we have different weapons you can take on them. You can see why I said they're kind of a sledgehammer unit, because here we got 4 attacks AP2 with Rending, 4 attacks AP4, 8 attacks AP2. The Ogres can all get quite a lot of attacks each. You can give them a pistol in case you want to put them into a shooting unit, which I don't know why you would. definitely made to be on the front line. Any turn that you're not charging something and instead shooting it with a pistol, I feel is a wasted turn. And then the option you have is you could put him on a Fang Beast, which gives you some more attacks. Defense 1, which means he goes to defense 3, fast, impact 4, and toughness 6. So that would move the Tribe Master up to toughness 12. At that point, you can't put him in a unit anymore. He just becomes his own wrecking ball, running around just messing everything up for the enemy. So that is it for the Tribe Master. We'll come back to him when we build some units as we go along. Next unit up is the Champion. Is one less at quality 4, but it's also 75 points instead of 95. We have the same options that the Tribe Master had, except here you could put on Caster 2 and Caster 3 that gives you access to that spell list that we saw earlier. Melee weapons are the same, except one less point of AP. We have some more ranged options. There's the Twin Big Pistol, along with a Great Javelin, which is Deadly 3, or a Harpoon Shooter, which is AP 3 and Deadly 3. So if you're fighting against something that's hard for you to pin down, something that's fast, you could go with the Harpoon Shooter to pin it down, just to throw out some deadly. And then the option for the Fang Beast is there as well. So let's go ahead and move on to the units. And the first one up is what I think might be the best chaff unit I've run across so far. What I mean by chaff unit, this unit is cheap. It's meant to go stand on objectives and die. It's meant to contest objectives, or it's meant to move first in your turn right in front of the enemy to disrupt their plans. They are quality 5 with 1 attack apiece, but it's this down here, the counter attack. For an extra 10 points, they get to fight first. They always get to fight first. And what that does is it kind of messes with the enemy's psychology. True, they only hit on a 5. But you could run a unit into these pet goblins thinking, oh, I'm going to kill them all. And all of a sudden, they stab 2 or 3 of you. It just adds so much to the utility of that unit. And then if you really want to, you could have these guys stand up as like a shield wall where they have the counterattack. And if you want to put some more points into them, if you got some more points left over, give them a ranged weapon attack. This way, whenever you get charged, you hit on a 5. And then on your turn, throw stuff at the enemy. You're also going to hit on a 5 with your shooting attack. And in an army full of big things, just having squads of little gits running around is always fun. Would it be worth it to put a Tribe Master or a Champion in the unit? Absolutely not. These guys are meant to stay cheap. Next, we're going to come to the Ogre Warriors. Stat line is quality 4, defense 4. There's 3 of them in the squad, like all the other elite heavy infantry. They start off with just 2 attacks at AP 1, but at this point there is absolutely no reason not to give them all dual hand weapons, to just double their attacks to 4 attacks at AP 1. They do have the option for a Musician, Sergeant, or Banner. Banner, +1 to morale test. Sergeant, one of the models get +1 to hit. And Musician, the unit moves an extra inch. Those are always fun options, but I don't use them because I forget them. I just forget they're a thing. But since we're here with the Ogres, this is where we can start building some cool units. Just for synergy, because they're quality 4, let's put a Champion on who's also quality 4. Give him the dual heavy hand weapon as well, so that's just 8 more attacks at AP 1. Just good synergy there. And then, what I would say here is the either Blessed One for a healing aura to give them all regeneration, or Shaman to make them faster, trying to get guts. And remember how I said Gorge with the +1 attack is kind of diminishing returns? Well, this is what I mean here. They all have 4 attacks normally. Giving them a 5th, it's 25% increase. They're quality 4, so even that's a 50-50 shot, so it's about a 13.5% increase. I could really dig down into the math and the theory behind it, but I'm not going to get into that here. What I would either do for this one, what I would focus on here is getting that Guts spell off, making these Ogres faster. They're already charging 12, and if you get the Guts spell off, they're going to be charging 18 inches. And then here we go, we got 4 models for 270 points. Might as well make it a big old beatstick unit, combine the unit, 405 points. 7 models, 32 attacks at AP 1. That's gonna cause some damage. Next unit up is the Devourers. They're a little better with quality 3. They have heavy hand weapons, so they have 2 attacks at AP 2. Here we can kind of customize what we want them to do. You want them to go against heavily armored stuff, you give them the heavy great weapon for AP 4. You could make them shooters for 3 attacks at AP 1 at 9 inches, or 4 attacks at AP 2. And then down here, this is where you get to choose the type of Devourer you have. You can have the Wall Crusher for fast and furious. Furious means every time you roll a 6, you get an extra hit. Bloodseeker for scout and fear of 1. Scout is at the beginning of the game, you move 12 inches to the mid-board before the game even starts. Mountain Strider for stealth and strider, to where they get to ignore difficult terrain and they're harder to shoot. Or a Death Cheater with fearless and regeneration. Regeneration's always good on a 5-up. They ignore any of the wounds they take. In fearless, you are already quality 3, but you know how I am with morale tests. It could be quality 2 and I still fail it half the time. Fearless just gives you a 4-up to pass a already failed morale test. And then Musician, Sergeant, and Banner. So let's say you want to take out something that has a whole lot of armor on it. That's where you go for the heavy great weapon. 160 points here. For which type I would do in this situation, I would do the Wall Crusher. I'd do fast and furious. Now I want to make one of these that looks like Vin Diesel. So for 190 points, we have 6 attacks at AP 4 that charge 16 inches away, hitting on a 3. And every time you roll a 6, it's an extra hit. I'd say that's pretty good to take out a lot of the big stuff. Let's say your enemy doesn't have any AP 2. Let's say the heaviest thing he's got is AP 3. Don't worry about AP 4 then. I meant defensive 3+. At that point, go ahead and go for the dual heavy hand weapon. What makes me more excited than big attacks? It's more attacks. Now we got 12 attacks AP 2 with all the same things. Hitting on a 3, extra hits on a 6, and you're charging 16 inches. Now the only downside to going fast is that you can't get the Tribe Master or the Champion. You can't get them to go fast on their own. But if you wanted a hero, you could do the Tribe Master, give them Bully, Healing Aura, or Fear of 3. Like I said, Fear of 3 here. You're probably not going to need it because you're just going to murk whatever you hit. And instead of Fast and Furious, go for Fearless and Regeneration. 255, and at that point you don't need the Tribe Master for the Healing Aura. At that point you don't need the Tribe Master at all. We can just get rid of him. So yeah, 255, defense 4 with the regeneration, 12 attacks, hitting on a 3. Yeah, this unit's just a blender. Next unit is the Yeti Pack. Quality 4, defense 4, so middle of the road. Strider, they ignore difficult terrain, toughness 3, and chilling. The enemy gets -1 to hit whenever they attack you. The unit has no upgrades. So this is what you're going to get. 3 attacks at AP 1. You could attach a character and you could do some stuff with the unit, but attaching a character to this probably wouldn't be the best idea because you can get a better starting spot by just taking Ogre Warriors with dual heavy hand weapons. You lose out on Strider and Chilling, but you have more attacks. I just don't think a Yeti Pack is going to be the way to go. Just take more Ogre Warriors. If you're going to take a character, put it in another Ogre Warrior squad. A character on the Yeti Pack, I feel, would be something like, a trailer hitch on a motorcycle. Could you do it? Yes. Should you do it? No. Next unit is the Iron Warriors. These are going to be your tanky ogres. Start off with defense 3 with stone bones. So effectively, they are defense 2. If the enemy comes at you with any kind of AP, you reduce it by 1. They have 3 attacks with AP 2. The only upgrades they have are Music, Sergeant, and Banner. So this is going to be where you're going to want to add a character on. This is going to be the unit that the enemy breaks on. So let's go ahead and do it. First, we're going to combine the unit. Make it big. Then we'll throw in a champion, and we're going to put on Healing Aura. So now what we have is we have 18 wounds of Iron Warriors that have defense of effectively 2 with regeneration. These are going to take some real dedication from the enemy to take them out, and every turn they spend beating on these Iron Warriors are a turn that your pet goblins or your other Ogre Warriors are going to be moving around to take objectives or take out key enemy units. Next unit is Hunters. Again, middle of the pack, quality 4, defensive 4. Ambush, Monster, Hunter, Strider, and Toughness 3. So Ambush, they could pop up anywhere on the board outside of 9 inches of the enemy unless they have a warning cry or a pet or something that makes it 12. Monster Hunter gives them AP +2 against units where most models have a toughness 3 or higher. So it's just on their melee weapons. So if you're playing against like giants, like we had a month or two ago on the field, they've got giants, they got a lot of toughness, and most of those had regeneration. Your hunting spears at that point become 3 attacks apiece, AP2, and rending shuts off regeneration. And then you have an option down here, you can take the Great Javelin for a 12-inch range attack, AP2 Deadly 3, but with the interaction of Ambush and Monster Hunter, I think the hunting spears will probably be the best bet. Instead of standing back and shooting at stuff, with the Deadly 3 you're going to be going after things that have high toughness anyways. Just charge them with the hunting spears. Next unit is Shooters. Again, middle of the road quality with quality 4. They come with hand cannons, but instead of single shot cannons, these are like shotgun cannons. 18-inch range, 3 shots, AP1. The only options are Musician, Sergeant, and Banner. 3 shots apiece of AP1 on a toughness 3 unit. It equates to a little bit better than usual shooting unit. Like I said in the beginning, most shooting units are quality 5 in armies, where you're quality 4, averaging out to 1 shot per toughness. Just a little bit better than usual. Are they amazing? No. Are they worth having on the table? Yes. At least 1 unit of them. Just to keep the enemy honest. Next, we got Saber-Teeths. Quality 4, defense 5, fast strider, and toughness 3. So you also have larger elite units of your fast little hound units. They only have 3 attacks apiece with rending. Normally with these units in the other armies, I say keep it small, keep it cheap. Run them onto objectives on like turn 4. Keep them hidden until it's time to, scramble for the objectives at the end of the game. And here it's the same thing. Even though they're fast, you could throw them at the enemy on turn 1, but with defense 5, you're not going to get very far with them. Keep them back. Keep these as like a quick reaction force wherever the enemy leaves a hole, and you can like get behind them and get to an objective, like say on their side of the board. Or if you want to just hide them behind something, just to make sure the enemy has to keep something around to either contest what they're going to jump on or chase them around the board until the end of the game. Either way, this is not going to be a frontline unit for you. Now let's look at some vehicles and monsters. We're going to start off with a Beast Rider. Quality 4, defense 3, so it's pretty decent. Fast impact 4. And I haven't said how impact works. I like to go over stuff at least once every video. Impact, the way it works right now, is whenever you charge the enemy, as long as you're not fatigued, which means as long as you haven't fought already this turn, and you charge into the enemy, you roll as many dice as the impact rule says. In this case it's 4, you roll 4 dice, and for every 2+ that you roll, you hit the enemy. Now, there's no AP on this, so it's just the enemy's basic armor save. So if you're running into like something that has defense of 3, just don't expect it to kill much. But if you're running into something that has crap armor, like the enemy's chaff unit, it's nice to just wipe 4 off before you even start attacking. Now it's got 2 attacks AP1 and 2 attacks AP nothing. You can give it a great weapon to give it 2 attacks AP2 and 2 attacks AP1, which it's only 5 points, honestly, why wouldn't you? And then what you can also do here, because it looks like it has what would be a unit upgrade, but you could choose to take one of these, in this case for 5 more points. I don't know why you wouldn't, just to make this guy hit on a 3. So for 125, a unit that is fast, that has impact hits, 2 attacks AP1, 2 attacks AP2, toughness 6, hitting on a 3. I know I've probably said it 3 times now, hitting on a 3. 125 is a great point value for this. It is almost a steal. I would say have at least one of these in your army. Next is the Abomination. Again, we're starting off kind of cheap at 130 points, quality 4, defense 3. Ambush, so it can pop up anywhere outside of 9 of the enemy. Fear 1, Fearless, Furious, and Toughness 6. This thing has lots of rules that all work the same direction, and I like it. And we got 4 attacks, AP nothing, and 2 attacks, AP 3. No upgrades, so this is you get what you see. So for 130, again, it's pretty cheap. If your enemy's running around some like fast, nimble cavalry or one of those wolf units that are supposed to be hiding to take objectives, this would be the perfect counter for it. Ambush outside of 9 of those dogs, or horses. Then as soon as you can activate it, charge into that unit. Its attacks really aren't great. 6 overall attacks, hitting on a 4. 2 of those being AP3. I mean, that's going to do some damage. Fear of 1 means it's going to win the combat if you hit the right targets with it, and Furious means you're going to at least get 1 extra attack just on the odds. 6 attacks means you're going to roll 1/6. So this is not a auto-include, but it's something to think about, to throw out there. Now we're getting to the big boys. Ice Mammoth. Here we're starting off at 400 points. We got a big old chunk of points in this guy. Quality 3 and defense 3, so we're pretty good there. Chilling, which means the enemy are -1 to hit it in close combat. Fear 3, which means it is going to probably win whatever combat it's in. And Toughness 15, it is a brick of toughness. Now, it starts off with 2 attacks, AP2 with Deadly 3, but we can replace that. We can either replace it with a Chilling Aura, which is 2 enemy units within 6, get -1 to hit, and it keeps 1 attack of the Great Tusk, or we could do 1 attack of the Great Tusk and a 24-inch Frost Blast, which is 2 shots at AP3 at 24 inches at AP1. Not terrible. And then Crew Attack starts off at 6 attacks, or we could replace that with a Trap Chain. 3 shots at 12 inches at AP1. Oh, and a Harpoon Shooter. Is it? Yep, that's all of that. 1 shot at AP3 Deadly 3, and knocks it down to 3 Crew Attack. So it looks like our options are either going to be all melee or lots of different shooting. I mean, that's a whole lot of different attacks. The problem is that they don't really synergize with each other. See, we got Blast 3 going after squads. We got Deadly 3 here on the Tusk attack going after tough units, and then we got a Harpoon Shot with Deadly 3 going after tough units with shooting. I don't know, I'm being totally honest on this one. I'm kind of confused on the direction I would take an Ice Mammoth. I would probably just go melee, just to limit the amount of bandwidth my brain would have to go through to choose its targets. I mean, some of the upgrades have merit, but I know that I wouldn't be able to get the most out of this thing every turn, unless I'm just throwing it at somebody. Next unit is the Giant Bison. So again, quality 3, defense 3, 375. We start off a little cheaper. Fear 3, Stone Bones, so essentially defense 2. And again, toughness 15. So we start off decked for close combat. This looks like it's decked out to fight squads because we have 2 blast close combat weapons, because we have 2 blast close combat attacks. And then we can do the same thing that we did on the Ice Mammoth. We can give it the Trap Chain and a Harpoon Shooter. And again, my answer is going to be, don't worry about it. Smack people in the face with it. Just go all melee. Models are pretty cool. I mean, look at that thing. I don't want to be hit in the face with it. And then last thing on the list we have is the Heavy Chariot. Quality 4, defense 3, 265. Stone Bones, which means essentially defense 2 with fear of 2. Toughness 9, so it's a little tougher than we normally see in chariots. Oh, I see. Even though it says Heavy Chariot, this is the artillery. 3 shots, blast 3, indirect. You could switch out the catapult with a heavy cannon for 3 shots, AP2, deadly 3. Interesting. So an advantage you have right off the bat against other artillery pieces is you're not immobile. You can move around on this. I like that. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Move your ogres forward with this thing behind the ogres, moving with them. And then when you get to like turn 4, this thing's going to be parked on an objective saying, come get some. Yeah, I like it. It's a pretty good unit. It's not the most killy thing in close combat, but it has close combat attacks. Again, something you don't get in other artillery pieces. So that brings us to the end of the list. Ogres overall, I like them. Big slabs of beef running at the enemy. Now normally what I do when we get out to the garage is I have an army that is made out of the stuff from the 3D Creator of the Week. But this week, I do not. Instead of 3D printing this army, I got my hands on some older, really beat up Ogre Kingdoms models that I stripped down, repainted, slap chopped them to put them on the table. And so that's what you're going to see out in the garage. I'm going to have the list in the description, and I will see you out there. Welcome out to the garage, everybody. This is today's Ogre Army. We start off with a tribe master in the back riding one of these big old beasts. Then we have 3 squads of 10 pet goblins, 3 squads of 3 ogre warriors, a tribe master and a squad of 6 iron warriors, 2 squads of 3 shooters, and 3 devourers. This army list focuses on just big, beefy ogres. Army list will be down in the description below. Let's check out who they're fighting this week. We have the Kingdom of Angels returning to fight this week. We have 3 squads of 10 penitents, 1 big squad of 10 battle nuns. We have the champion and the 10 paladins, 2 high angels, and 6 battle angels apiece up here. And the temperature has dropped enough that we are able to use that big angel up there. And then 3 squads of 5 marksmen. Again, the list is going to be down in the description. Let's check out the battlefield. We've rolled up 3 objectives, so we have 3 objectives on the board. We got a little village going on over there with a church, and then we got some rocks and a bunch of difficult terrain on the board. Uncle C will be here shortly to choose one of the armies. That seems to be the deal that we got going on. I build the armies and the table, and then he chooses which one to play as. So let's go ahead and roll to see what deployment is going to be. Let's see what we get. A 4. Ambush. Oh, this ought to be good. So Uncle C has decided he's going to run the angels. We got angels in the corner here. We got our line of ogres down the middle that are being ambushed. And some angels over here in this corner. Let's see who's going first. Angels. 4 ogres. 5. First move, the ogre's going to be kind of cheap. We're just going to move some pet goblins onto this objective over here. We got some marksmen that are going to move up towards that objective over there. We got a unit of ogres over here. They are just going to move towards the opposite flank, going to hug the hill cover. Battle nuns moving up in a brick. 2 about there.
Almost went awesome.
Unit of Devourers is going to be moving towards that side of the board. 10 Penitents moving forward in their brick. More or less. We got a unit of shooters over here. They're just going to wiggle this direction, and then they are going to fire at that squad of Penitents. So we got our shooters. They're going to be hitting on a 4. Got a couple hits. Saving on a 6. Ooh, that's going to be 5 dead. Morale test. They are going to fail, but they are fearless. Yep, still going to fail, so they are pinned. So 5 down. And pinned, stunned, whatever it's called. Second squad of marksmen are moving forward, and we got cicadas outside trying to make babies. Sorry about the noise. And then they are going to fire off at those pet goblins over there. Hitting on 5. Ooh, we got 3 rending hits and 1 regular hit. Goblins are going to save on a 6. Hey, we saved 1, so it's 3 dead goblins. Oh, no. Second squad of shooters is going to move to there, and then they are going to fire at those nuns. 9 shots hitting on a 4. Ooh, 2 hits. So saving on a 6. 2 fail, but then Angelic Ward. Okay, so there's going to be 2 nuns gone. The first squad of angels is going to be moving forward. Squad of ogres moving up to just outside of charge range of those penitents. Another squad of penitents moving forward. The Iron Warriors are going to move over towards the flank to have the angels on them. Penitents moving around those cactus as the cactus catch every one of our fingers. Next unit of pet goblins is going to be moving forward just to get out of the way of those ogres over there. Paladins we got moving forward to there. Just because of the deployment difficulty, we're not counting it as difficult terrain for the first move. Just because there was not enough room for nothing. The ogre's going to move forward now. I color coordinated their pants and I completely forgot about it. Second unit of angels all the way over into that corner there. Going for a long flank. The Beast Rider Tribe Master is going to move over to that objective there. Got some shooters that are going to move forward a little bit, and then
shoot your fat guy.
They're going to fire at my fat guy. Riding the bareback thing, yeah. 5 shots hitting on 5. We got 2 hits. Tribe Master's going to save on a 3. Ooh, he takes 1 wound. So the big guy is down to 11. So that was it for the Angels, and all that's left for the Ogres is this last squad of pet goblins. They're going to move over onto that objective. Like that. So the Angels' ambush on turn number 1 seems to definitely be favoring one direction. It looks like we're going to be headed for a big showdown inside the village. On to turn number 2. First activation of turn 2, we got the Angels are going to go in against the Iron Warriors. So the Angels, it's 24 attacks hitting on 2s. Woo! So all those attacks were at AP2. The Stone Bones reduce it to AP1, so they're all saving on a 4. 10 attacks go through, and that squad has regeneration. Oh, that's pretty good. So after all that, they only lose 3, which is 1 Ogre. So we lose 1, and then time to fight back. So for the attacks back, we're going to start with the Tribe Master on a 3. We got 3 hits, and then all the rest of the Iron Warriors on a 4. Not bad. Saving on a 6. 8 wounds go through. So that's going to be 2 Angels, and 1 is down to 1 wound. Time for a morale test. Morale test on a 3, and they're going to fail. So the Angels are going to end up pinned. Wow, did not expect that. Wow. So then up here, the Ogres, they are just going to push into the squad of Penitents just to clear out what this mess is going on here. So the Ogres got 4 attacks apiece, so it's going to be 12 attacks on a 4. Well, not nearly as good. 3 saves on a 6. So we got 2 dead. Fighting back on a 6. Got nothing. So with those 2 down, they were already pinned, they take off running.
I was running.
Squad of Penitents over here, they are going to they're going to move a building and then charge into the pet goblins, and the pet goblins have counterattack. Goblins get 10 attacks first on a 5. We got whopping 2. So that'll be 2 Penitents down. 8 attacks on a 5. Ooh, better. Goblins save on a 6. So we lose 3. So that means Goblins lost the combat. Morale on 5. They're going to fail. So they lose 1, 2, 3. Sticks. Sticks everywhere. 3. Give me that one. You and your sticks. And then they are pinned. Second unit of pet goblins over here. They are going to charge into those Penitents. 10 attacks on a 5. Oh, pretty good. By pretty good, I mean 3. Saving on a 6. It's going to be 2 more Penitents down. 6 attacks back on a 6. We got 1 hit. Saving on a 6. Hey, save! So time for the Penitents to take a morale test. They're going to fail, but they are fearless. Yep, they are still pinned. So we got one heck of a cluster going on over here. And to add to it, we got the Paladins coming in. So first off, the Goblins with their counterattack. On a 6, nothing. 13 attacks on a 2. Woo, that's a bunch. Saving on a 6. Hey, we got a couple saves. But we lose 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, took a Paladin. Everything I make is so spiky. So, down to 2 Goblins. Time for a morale test. Morale test on a 5. Oh, Lord, they actually passed. Didn't see that coming. So to continue the cluster, these Ogres, they are going to charge into the Paladins. Roar. 12 attacks on a 4. Pretty good. Saving on a 5. Saving on a 5.
And a flip.
There we go. Saved
Still
1. 6 go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 4. And the champion pile back in over there. Champion first, hitting on a 6 for being fatigued. He's got 1 hit at AP3, saving on a 6. That's 1 wound. 4 more on a 6. Hey, 3 hits. Saving on a 6. For 2 more, so they're going to take down 1 Ogre. The Ogres won combat, so Paladins need to take a morale test. And they're going to pass. So we lose 1. And then the cluster continues. The next squad of Angels is going to push forward into that group of Ogres. 24 attacks on a 2. Oh. Saving on a 6. Yeah, that's enough. This unit of Ogres are just going to go splat. Next activation, we're going to have this unit of Ogres over here charge into the Battle Nuns. So against the Nuns, we're going to be hitting on a 4. Ooh, that don't look too good. Saving on a 6. We got 4 down, but they have Angelic Ward for another 6. They're going to save 1s, lose 3. So 3 go down, and then the ladies will swarm into the attack. 5 attacks back, hitting on a 4. Yeah, 5 attacks back, hitting on a 4. Oh, we got 4 hits. Saving on a 5. They're going to take out one of the Ogres. And with that, we have a 3-3 tie.
Jiminy Christmas. We're just going to use them to shoot in the big guy. No, that. We're going to use them to shoot into them, because I just want to get them off that. Oh my god.
Marksmen are going to fire into the pet goblins. 5 shots on a 5.
Or not.
Nothing. All right, then. So the Devourers have decided that they're not exactly needed on this flank. They're needed on the other flank. They are going to move as fast as they can that direction and put themselves right back where they started. Second squad of shooters are going to move up onto the difficult terrain and fire at... What you shooting at? The big guy. Chungus. 5 shots on 5. We got 1 hit, 1 rending hit. Saving on a 6. It fails, so he takes another one. He's down to 10. So over here, we are going to have these little gobos. They are going to charge into the marksman. 7 attacks on a 5. 1. Passes. 5 attacks on a 5. Nothing. All right, then. We got ourselves a little slap fight going on over here. So we got the last squad of shooters over here. They are going to weave a shot through and hit those goblins. 5 shots on 5. Got 1 hit. Saving on a 6. Fails. Get your head out of here. Plap! So the big guy, he is just going to move over to here because those goblins have blocked up everything. Kind of expected that to pop off. But of course, goblins are useless. So over here, the nuns, on their activation, they're going to run past those ogres and charge into those shooter ogres. Nuns are going to be hitting on a 6 because they are fatigued. We got 1 hit. Because of the Furious, that means they have 2 hits. And they're AP 1, so the shooter's going to be saving on a 5. They're going to take 2 wounds. Time for the shooters to fight back. On a 4. We got 4 hits. Saving on a 5. Ooh, we got 3 saves with 1 with Angelic Ward. Okay, so they take 1. That means they're going to win over the Ogres. Ogre's going to take a morale test on a 4. They're going to fail. So 1 nun down. 1 ogre is 1 wound left and stunned. So if the Ogre select activation, we're just going to go ahead and activate those shooters and unstun them. Last activation for the Angels, the Penitents are just going to move down here, just adding to more roadblocks. So these shooters, they are going to just turn around, and they're going to fire on what is left of that squad of nuns. So 9 shots on a 4 with their cannons. Got a couple hits. Saving on a 6. Nothing with Angelic Ward. Nothing. So that's going to be it for the nuns. Boom. So that will be the end of turn number 2. So for turn number 2, I think the term to use would be traffic jam. The 2 objectives on the right flank are being fought by more than 75% of both armies, while the 1 objective off on its own, it's going to be a toss-up to see what's left over there. First activation of turn number 3, the shooters on the rocks are going to fire at the Beast Rider. On a 5, we got 1 hit. Saving on a 3. He saves. Next activate is going to be the Iron Warriors in the middle fighting against those Angels that are stunned. Starting with the Tribe Master, 4 attacks on a 3. We got 4 hits. Everything else on a 4. 11 hits total, saving on a 6. Ooh, quite a few sixes. 6 wounds go through. So that's going to be 2 full angels. And then we just move this right over to there. Their fight back. Hitting on a 6. Because they are fatigued. 1 hit. Saving on a 4. Ooh, they're going to lose 1. But overall, the Ogres won combat. The angels are already stunned, which means they fail their morale test. They're going away. There they go. Activation for the angels. They are going to push in the second squad of battle angels right into that squad of Iron Warriors again. 24 attacks on a 2. Saving on a 4. And then regeneration. So 3 plus the wound that we took last time is going to be 2 dead ogres. 1, 2, and then the fight back. All the ogres attacks back on a 6 because they are fatigued. We got 3 hits. Saving on a 6. That's going to be 2 angelic ward for a 6. They're going to take 2 wounds. Overall, the ogres lost combat. Morale on a 3. They're going to pass. These 2 ogres we got over here are going to push into the paladins. 8 attacks on a 4. Ooh, 3 hits. Saving on a 5. As I keep forgetting to leave dice in there. So 2 go through. Then angelic ward. So 2 wounds to the paladins. 2 paladins go down. So then they're going to fight back. 5 attacks on a 2. You got 4 hits. Saving on a 6. They lose 4 wounds, which is a ogre and a half. Ogre's morale test on a 4. They're going to pass. So they lose 1 ogre, and 1 is down to 2 wounds. These penitents, they are going to move forward and charge into the pet goblins. With counterattack, the goblins go first on a 6 because they are pinned. Nothing. 10 attacks on a 5. 2 hits. With Furious, that makes it 3. Saving on a 6. Failed all 3. With the goblins pinned already, that means they lose combat. They automatically fail the morale test, and then they are going to go away. Next to activate is going to be the Devourers. They finally see something close enough to jump on. Rawr. Starting off with the Devourers, Devour skill. They're going to take 1 hit with AP 1. And then 18 attacks on the 3. Saving on a 6. We got 3. End up taking 9 wounds, leaving 1 left. Morale test for the 1 left. Fail, but fearless. It passes. So that takes out 9 of them. You got 1 guy left. He gets to attack back. Ha! Did that out of order. He gets 1 attack. He's going to miss because he is fatigued. So he's already passed morale test. They're going to stand right there. Paladin's going to activate, and they're going to attack that ogre. 5 attacks on a 6. 1 hit. Saving on a 5. Or no, saving on a 6. He fails. Ogre attacks back. Nothing. Ogre morale test. He fails. So the ogre is down to 1 wound, but he failed his morale test, so he takes off running anyways. Over on this flank, we're going to start with the little guys. Those 6 goblins are going to fight those shooters. 6 attacks out of 5. As I missed the box. We got 2 hits. Saving on a 5. Missed the box. Okay, 1 goes through. Angelic ward on a 6. Okay, so 1 goes down. Their attacks back. 4 of them.
Yep.
On a 5. 1 hit. Saving on a 6. Passes. Some morale test for the marksman. They're going to pass.
Assistant.
Yeah, interference. So just 1 bloop. And we're sticking around. So that squad of marksmen, they're going to back up a hair and fire into those goblins. 1 hit. It's rending. Doesn't really matter. Goblins on a 6. It's going to lose a guy. That takes him to half strength. Morale test. They're going to pass. All of a sudden, I can pass morale tests. 1 goes down. So our Tribe Master Beast Rider is going to charge into that squad there. Impact hits on a 2. We got 4 hits. Saving on a 5. With Angelic Ward. Hey! Saved them all. Then the rest of his attacks On a 6. No, wait. The rest of his attacks on a 3, not a 6. Saving on a 6. Save 2. Angelic Ward. So that's gonna be the whole squad. Boom. Takes them all out. Next activation, this squad of shooters is gonna fire at the big guy. 5 shots on 5s. 1 hit, but it is rending. So saving on a 6. Fail. So he is down to 9. This squad of shooters, they're going to turn, and the angels hanging out there are going to get shot at. 9 shots on a 4. Ooh, not too good. Saving on a 5. 3 fails. Angelic Ward. So they lose 2 wounds. So that'll be this guy, and then 1 wound on another. Last activation, they're going to recover on that squad of penitents. This squad of ogres we got over here, they're just going to take off back around the mountain to there. Then this squad of shooters, they're going to go 6 inches and add their firepower in over onto those angels. 9 shots on a 4. Ooh, pretty good this time. Saving on a 5. With Angelic Ward, they're going to lose 4 wounds. So we'll take this one just to keep coherency, and then 2 wounds on another. He is going to be down to 1. And then we got these 2 pet goblins over here. What they're going to do is they're just going to break, and they're just going to stand right there. Moving into turn number 4, there are still ways the angels can pull this off. The dice just have to be on their side. It is time for the mad dash for objectives. Let's see how it ends up. First activation for the angels over here. They are going to fly over this squad of iron warriors and charge into the shooters on that objective. 18 attacks on 2s. There we go. Saving on a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's going to be enough. That is going to wipe out, boom, that squad of shooters. So over here, we're going to have the tribe masters smack into those marksman. Impact hits. I'm dropping dice everywhere, so 4 hits. Saving on a 5. With Angelic Ward. So 1. Rest of the attacks on a 3. Oh, saving on a 6. With Angelic Ward. Yep, that's going to do it. So that's it for that squad of marksmen. This squad of penitents, they are not going to attack. They're just going to hang out on that objective. And then the devourers, they're going to charge into them. We're going to keep this guy separate. He's on his own. 18 attacks on a 3. Saving on a 6. So we got 2 saves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 gone. That's going to be the rest of the squad. Skadoosh. So the paladins, they're just going to hang out on that objective, making sure it is good and contested. Time for the fight for the center. The tribe master and his 3 remaining iron warriors, iron ogres, are going to pile in. Tribe master attacking on a 3. We got 3 hits. Save it on a 6. Angelic Ward. So there's 2 wounds. Rest of the attacks on a 4. Saving on a 6. 1 save. Angelic Ward. Fail. So 3 wounds total there. Time for them to fight back. 15 attacks. On a 6 for fatigue. We got 3 hits. Saving on a 4. With regeneration. Saved them all. So time for the angels to take a morale test. They are going to fail. They are just 1 wound over half. So they're just going to be stunned. So with those angels becoming pinned, that seals the end of the game, because we have 1 contested objective, 2 contested objectives, and all the way on the other side, even if those marksmen take off running, they're not going to be able to get on that objective, and we have a goblin with a toe on it. So the final score is going to be 1-0. Ogres win. So at the end of the game, my final thoughts on the ogres. These big bully boys seemed to be able to pretty much push things off of objectives and slam in where they are needed. Perhaps the deployment helped them out because they were able to move towards where they were needed in every direction. There was going to be no outflanking the army. But after the game, my thoughts on the Ogres have changed a little bit. I thought they were a middle-of-the-road army. They might be stronger than I initially thought. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. That'll do it for me today. I hope you guys are out there having a whole bunch of fun playing the OPR systems. And one day I see you across the table. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.